agus fásta Facebook agus an choras Twitter tá se fáscail sin seo as mo chóir so cogí teagháil am ar bí a Harbí Scaithin teáil agam fáhar gonne bu mu géisiad inniu le Eve Belle.
You flew in with the breath of spring underneath your wings. I was so naive, every word that you lied through your teeth, I believed. Now you're gone with the suggestion of autumn. I know I should feel lucky that I saw you at all, but I can't keep thinking the best of you. Oh, I can't keep thinking the best of you. When there's evidence to the contrary, in all honesty, what have you ever done for me? Except instill a dose of cold reality. When the cold light comes in, you're nowhere to be seen.
I met Eve Belle, I think probably at a school talent competition, probably about 5 years ago. And she performed that night with two friends, I believe, 3 guitars, 3 vocals, and it was good, it was very enjoyable, but even at that early stage you could see that Eve was a little bit different. She had a talent, fabulous voice, subtle voice that she's great command of. So we had a wee chat after that, and I just offered any help I could. I just said, Eve, listen, if there's anything I can do for you, just drop us a wee line here. I give her probably email and telephone, and it wasn't long before she said, listen, Donald, I would like to translate some of my work. She's a fluent Irish speaker herself, but she moved to the area, so she was introduced to the language a little later than, I suppose, her contemporaries. But I was only delighted to, I suppose, help her in any way I could, as I said, so I translated a few pieces of her work.
Snílanin a crackin agus crowd, which ag snowin iron yasset, tattoo igoni hermoin sheen, is nie fair where the dumber show.
Okay. That's okay. Thank you.
That was great. What is that one about?
That's a song called Crackin' Agus Crawa, which means skin and bones. And it's kind of a metaphor, I guess, like it means that there's nothing, realizing that when you're with someone and there's nothing left of what there used to be except skin and bones, and there's no point in clinging to it because it's really not what it was initially, and it's not what you fought for initially, so there's no point in trying to fight for it now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The Irish they speak in Ireland is like, so you have Gaeilge or whatever, and then you have like Gaelic that they speak in Scotland, which is very similar, but there are like a few differences.
Mm-hmm.
But we could probably understand them, and they could probably understand us. And then you have like, say like Cymru in Wales, like they have like the Welsh language, which is a Gaelic language, but it's again very different. We wouldn't be able to understand them.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have an Irish language in the Isle of Man and in Yorkshire, and then in Brittany in France as well. They all have Gaelic languages. So it's quite interesting to see how kind of far there's all these different places that are like all kind of Celtic languages. So it's quite interesting.
Yes.
because a lot of them songs that I translated had went on to win awards down the line. So it was quite unusual that very little investment on my part and huge investment on her part, I suppose, paid off in some way for her down the line. So I suppose she has a great presence in English media here in Ireland, and has, I suppose, performed at some of the top festivals here in Ireland already at this young age. She's frequently, I suppose, seen on TV, on radio, and we're just delighted, and I'm just delighted that we can hear her voice on Irish language broadcasts as well, both here on Radio na Gaeltachta and other media also. So she's definitely a rising star.
Well, I just kind of decided on a whim when I was about, I think when I was 9 or 10, to just get a guitar for Christmas, and I got this kind of really terrible quality guitar from Argos that was like €70, and the fretboard was really wide and everything. It was a classical guitar, so I could barely play it really. And I guess like over the next few years it was a really kind of gradual process because I didn't have a teacher or anything, so I just kind of picked up bits and pieces as time went on. And then my uncle gave me a much better guitar then a few years later, and that was the guitar I guess I really learned on, because you know it was just much easier to play. It was a beautiful guitar. It was maybe 25 years old, so it was really nice sound out of it and everything. And I guess from there I kind of, like, I'd always been singing just around the house, and I'd always loved music growing up and everything, so I suppose I just kind of, you know, it was a kind of gradual process of, you know, beginning to kind of write my own songs, I guess, when I was about 13, 14, like really kind of embarrassing, terrible music that I don't want to ever show to anyone this side of the grave. So and I guess it just kind of moved forward, and I got a little bit more mature and a little bit better as time went on, and I got a lot of encouragement from, you know, my family, and then when I eventually started singing in front of other people, you know, I got a pretty nice reaction from people, and you know that really encouraged me to kind of keep going. And as well for me anyway, like writing songs was really kind of therapeutic, and it was a way to kind of to vent, I guess, and to kind of a way for me to kind of understand myself, what I was thinking, because I guess I think I write better than I talk, if you know what I mean. I can express something in a song better than I could express it talking about it. Yeah.
The last year, since we were in university and she took a year out for working on the music, of course, whenever she was, for example, I go to university in Belfast, whenever she was in Belfast, I would go see her. And then whenever I'm home, which is a gig, of course, we'll go see her, but otherwise, she's been quite busy by herself. Really.
Yeah. I'm the same, like she was in Dublin playing in a place called the Bleeding Horse, and I went with her there and she did a kind of few songs, and then apart from that, because we're quite busy at college, like we'd be away when she'd be doing different gigs, but if we're around at home and stuff, we'd go see her play and support her and whatnot.
She supported big bands in different places around. In Dublin a lot, I think.
I think when you get to be allowed to go to Electric Picnic and actually play in it, you're going pretty far, I think, pretty well. So yeah, I know it's weird because she's been our friend. It's still like she's just like Eve, our friend, but it's also like wow, like people actually know you, and like people are following you on the internet and looking for your music. So yeah, it's kind of crazy, but it's strange. Sometimes you don't associate the two things together, but yeah, it is cool though.
It kind of makes you think about it as well, that these other big artists around the world, they're just human beings.
Yeah.
Just like they've got their own friends, they've got families. They're just like us, really, just talented.
Storm rolls in and you're back again, and you like to into some permanence, but I have a thicker skin. I find it harder to believe in anything. On your knees, boy, you're begging me to fall.
Maya Brennan approached me and she asked if I would be interested in setting up with herself a kind of night where musicians could come in and perform based on an open mic, setting, but at the same time we curated the musicians. So we have a standard there. We don't want people to come in who've just been singing for 2, 3, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, you know, but we do want to invite them along to see what the standard's like. So I suppose nights like that, Eve Belle, I suppose, was one of the first who visited Club Beo, and she's with us nearly every night because she understands the importance of a night like that. When you perform in front of a live audience, you know, you can learn so much and you can blossom. You can also wither and die because it's not very easy to go up there and perform in front of a live audience. I know that she can perform on any stage, nationally, internationally. She is that good. I believe she's that good. She's also got an amazing presence. She's got an amazing live presence. She goes on stage with a guitar and her voice, but she can go up there after a band, after drums, bass, electric guitar, 2 vocals, and just blow them out of the water. You know, she can just stop the audience in its tracks. So, and I've seen her doing that often, where you have a real chatty audience who are really not that interested in what's going on. Once Eve begins, you know, everyone stops and everyone turns and everyone pays attention. So she is that good. She also, not only her voice, not only does she have a unique voice and great guitar skills, but she's an excellent songwriter. So we all see brilliant voices, we all see brilliant musicians, but to be able to sit in your room and compose the music and the songs that she composes, you know that's an extra talent, because not only can she do it for herself, but she can also do it for others. You know, there's an industry there as well where she can write for other people, and she's definitely on the rise. But why did I help her? I suppose just because she's the local girl. She has that talent, and you want to help her in any little way that you can to get her to the next level.
One of the judges in like the final of it or whatever is a man called Donegal Ireland, and he was involved in organising this kind of open mic night sort of thing in Leo's Tavern in Crawley, which is called Club Beo, and basically what that was an open stage for kind of upcoming musicians who didn't really have a chance to kind of get that experience. And for me, you know, I started going, and I still haven't stopped. This was 3 years ago, and I still go pretty much every month, because I think for me anyway it was a really kind of invaluable experience to be able to be on stage and to be able to get this feedback from really fantastic, talented, respected musicians. Like Moya Brennan is the other person who organises it. She's from Clannad, and you know, she's incredibly well respected, incredibly talented, and I think it did definitely have an effect on me as a musician, having that stage, having this wonderful respectful audience, having this constructive advice. And you know, I think it and I've seen a lot of musicians grow doing it, because I've seen a lot of people who've been there from very early on, and you come back every month and you might have a new song, you might have a new cover, something like that, and you get to see people progressing and you get to see yourself progressing. And I guess I'm incredibly grateful for that experience, because I don't know whether I'd be necessarily in the same place now without having that chance to perform to an audience, perform live on stage that frequently, you know, when I was that young.
When all I am to you is a harbor that you come to in need of comfort. Well, now the tides have turned, and now I'm nowhere to be seen. When the rain came down on you and me, we clung to the rocks. I was swept to sea as I fell beneath. I forgot everything that made it easy, that made it easy for me.
You know, things are moving in a positive direction with my music, but I had always wanted to go to Trinity College ever since I was maybe 5 or 6. You know, I just saw it and, you know, I just kind of fell in love with it. It's such a beautiful building, and as I said, I have had a real interest in languages since I was younger, so I thought it would be good to, even if I get 1 year done, I can go back and do 3 more years. So, you know, to try and kind of balance the two for as long as I can. You know, I don't think that's gonna hurt anything that's going on with my music. I think it will be good for me as well. I think in terms of, you know, meeting people and that kind of side of it, and the social aspect as well. I think it wasn't so much that anything influenced me. It was just always something I wanted to do, and music has always been something I wanted to do too. So if I can do both at the same time, fantastic. But you know, if it's one over the other, you know, that's grand as well.
I think she can go all the way. Will she go all the way? It's very difficult to say, but I do know that although there is this huge mushrooming of musicians out there and a huge amount of them, I know she's very focused. She works hard at her talent. There's no doubt that she has great drive and great ambition. I think she's cute enough to take it to the next level and to definitely to prolong her career.
I think that because she is doing so well right now and she is so young, that I think that she could get quite big. Like, it's hard to tell. Like, I think it's kind of the right moment and a bit of luck at the same time, but I think that she could get quite big and do like quite big shows and stuff as she grows over the years. And
for me anyway, the idea I have of being a successful musician is being a respected musician, a musician that's kind of, I guess, loyal to what I started out doing, and loyal to what's important to me about music, which is, I guess, telling a story and making people feel something when they listen to you. So if people react to my music, if people listen to my music, if I was able to even tour the country and do small venues and people just would come and listen because they want to hear it, that would be enough for me, you know? I mean, if it was to be ultimately more successful than that, great, but I just want to play music, that's just what I want to do. So any way that I can make a career, make a living doing that, I'm happy, you know? I don't necessarily need to be, you know, number 1 in the charts or, you know, doing world tours and making millions. Like, that's not what's important to me about it. What's important to me about it is being able to do what's important to me and it affecting people, it reaching people, I guess.
mm-hmm.
You know.
I am pretty sure that it is safe to say that today's gonna be the last day, and we'll let this life sweep us away. Before you know it, we'll be nowhere to be seen.